It's something that Peter Hall said to me when we were working together, which is something that he described as the first 10 lines of the day. The bad patches in Shakespeare and the rubbish patches in Shakespeare when, he woke up in the morning and he was a bit hungover and a bit grumpy and a bit sour, and he sat down and had no real desire to write but thought he ought to because he had to make the money, and so he started writing, and the first 10 lines of the day are by and large awful, and they're rubbish, and there are all these patches of writing that you stumble across in Shakespeare's plays where there's just nothing going on, or it's nonsense. He'd write those first 10 lines of the day very slowly and very deliberately and very plonkily, and then suddenly something would stir in his imagination and something would quicken in his heart and in his mind, and he'd just start moving a bit quicker with his pen after 10 lines, and then after another 10 lines he'd just start flying, and this great sort of heap of imagery and thought and wisdom and insight and poetry and romance and emotion that was swirling around inside him all the time would just suddenly flower, and his pen would be flying, and he'd be writing, at the pitch that we know and love. But what's lovely about Shakespeare is that he wasn't a great editor, he wasn't a great reviser, he didn't go over his work and change it, so you've still got those little lumps of crap all the way through. And also occasionally he just wrote with his eyes shut. He just thought, oh, I've got to get from here to here, I'm just gonna write it down, because I don't want to be in this moment, I want to get to the next moment. So I'll just write a bridge to get me there. And it's terrible. And you get these wonderful mountains of academic baloney that try to understand, these ridiculous bits of plotting. And it was just a guy who just thought, oh no, this is terrible. All right, I'll close my eyes, I'll get through it quickly and I'll move on to the next thing.